Hello everyone, welcome to another Spirit Guided Messages video. This one is going to be in two parts because I have two different things I wanted to bring to your attention. We did do a live group channeling by way of phone on the 12th of December because I wanted to see what the messages were that would come through for the collective in regards to moving forward from the closure of that storm. If you remember, if you've seen all the other videos, it's about us starting at 10:10 being October 10th, that being go time, and moving through the eye of the storm and the rest and relaxation phase out into the other side of that spiraling storm to be catapulted onto path toward our destiny. So 12:12 was the closing time of that period, and I wanted to know what was coming for all of us. So that's what the live channeling was about. Now obviously all of you couldn't make it to the live channeling, so I wanted to let you know what some of the messages were. It was very interesting in that the messages, for the most part, it was all the same kind of messages coming through from each and every one of us. Part of it was about staying grounded, staying focused. We're starting out on a new path for a new journey, and we are to expect new revelations. Things are changing, my friends. There may have been and may still be a little bit of sacrifice. I know in the past there's probably been a lot of sacrifice for majority of you, if not all of you, but I'm not sure fully if the sacrifice that Spirit was talking about was past sacrifices or present and future sacrifices. But I do believe it is both, because one of the other messages that came through was that we are to allow it. Just allow the sacrifice, whatever we need to let go of in our lives that is no longer serving us. We need to let go of it in order to move forward, because anything from the past that we hang on to acts as an anchor, and we cannot move forward. Somebody had the message about it being time. It's time. And I do believe that that is in regards to us moving forward and making that shift into this brand new way of living and being, and that being 2020. Because, you know, we're leaving behind an entire decade here. It's all about brand new beginnings, new starts, moving forward, being a free spirit, moving forward without chains, without being restricted in any way. And again, more cutting out or cutting away of the things that no longer serve you if you want to reach wish fulfillment and dreams becoming reality. This ending to the year, one of the things that was very strong for me was head pressure. So I feel like as we come to the end of this year, there's a pressure building. I know I can feel it. I don't know about the rest of you, but I am really struggling at this point in time to stay in a place where I'm not wobbling energetically. You know, one day, this whole month of December for me, for the most part, has felt really magical, and like I can feel the energy coming toward me and it feels really good. But then there's another day where I get up and I get that tug of war going on within me, and I struggle to stay with that magical, happy, fun, eagerly awaiting the future kind of feeling, and I start to go back into that anxiety, fearful feeling, and I find myself doing things to relieve those. And I do feel a pressure. It's not in my head so much as it is just I feel the pressure around me. The energy feels like I'm in a pressure cooker and it could blow at any minute. And then of course one of the other things that came through for me was explosion. There was an explosion, and what I could see was one of those big mushroom clouds. So for me, this is that pressure. It's been building up and building up, and it's finally just going to blow. And when it does, it's going to feel like a release. I don't feel, especially now that I've got information on this new moon that's coming in, I don't think it's going to feel like one of those tower moments where your entire world is turned upside down. It may turn things around in your life, but I think it's going to do so in a good way. You know, it could upset your world, but not with any pain. Okay, it's going to take you to wish fulfillment. I had the star and the number 9. Number 9 in tarot, if you look at the cards that are numbered 9, there's wish fulfillment, there's one final step. This is it. You're making that final step to your fulfillment. 9 of Swords, that can be all about being up in your head and being conflicted mentally, which is what I'm just talking about. I go back and forth, like I said, between feeling very magical and excited about the future to fearing it again and being in my head. And I really am struggling to work at not allowing myself to stay there for very long. I also had a picture of a tidal wave and a light bulb. So this, whatever this is, this energy, it's going to hit us. It's going to be big and it's going to hit us hard, but it's going to bring clarity. It's going to bring that ability to know without understanding how you know or why you know. You just know. So it's all good. It is all good. It maybe doesn't feel like that at this point in time, because I can tell you, for me, when I go into that flip side where I'm feeling anxious or fearful, it does not feel like anything good is coming my way. So move through that, please. Try not to hold on to those feelings for too long, because they're an illusion. They're not real. For starters, never believe your negative thoughts. Never, never, never. Because they are an illusion. They're coming from your ego. It's coming from the old way of living and being as human beings. And human beings are supposed to be, but somewhere along the way, we turned that around and decided that we should be doers rather than beers, if that makes any sense. Now, I think that was all I needed to say about the live group channeling. It was a lot of fun. I'm sorry you guys couldn't make it, those of you that didn't. It was a lot of fun. We got some great messages. I didn't go into specifically what each and every other person received as messages because, you know, I feel like there's a privacy thing here. I'm not going to announce who was there and what they saw, but you know, I'm okay with you guys knowing the messages I got. Now, I want to move into the new moon eclipse. Ooh, this is exciting, everybody. Get ready, buckle up. We are about to take off for the ride of our lives. This feels amazing to me. And once you get all the information, I think you're going to be excited too. So here's where we start. It is going to be on, depending on where you live, December 25th or 26th. Now, it is a new moon in Capricorn. It is the last new moon / eclipse of this decade. The last one of the decade. Wow. The other thing that I noticed about the times is that there's hours and minutes to the timing, right? All the minutes are number 13. So, for example, in my time zone, Mountain Standard Time, it'll be Christmas, December 25th at 22:13. And everybody else is the same. No matter what time zone you're in, it's whatever the hour is, the minutes are 13. 13, if you look at that from the tarot deck, is the death card. Transformation. Big transformation. Number 13 also is a twin flame number. And it's not a bad luck number, it's a good luck number. That got switched around in the past at some point in time. It started out originally as being lucky 13, right? So somewhere somebody decided they should switch that around and make it bad or unlucky 13. But it is a lucky number. An eclipse will always affect us for quite a while before and after the actual eclipse. Like we could be talking weeks to, months. So we've all been feeling this energy up to this point, possibly from 10/10, maybe before that. Maybe after that too. I'm not positive on that. I don't have any information on that, but I'm just thinking that all of this is the go time was 10/10, and that could have been because that was the beginning of the energy in regards to this eclipse. And I feel that this eclipse is going to be what catapults us all into that next phase of our lives, because it is right before the end of this year and this decade. Now, also with eclipses come big changes, and they're usually unexpected, and they are always life-changing, always. So like I said, this coincides with the live group channeling that we did and the messages that came through, because it's all about big changes, like the Tower card, like a Tower moment, but not anything bad. There has been and is going to continue to be a lot of Capricorn energy around us, because this new moon is in Capricorn for starters, and the eclipse, but Jupiter also is in Capricorn right now. And Saturn and Pluto are lining up in Capricorn, and they do so on the 12th of January. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but I have been seeing number 12 quite a bit. 1221, 1212. It's crazy how much I've been seeing 12. And I'm starting to think that a lot of these, if not all of these synchronistic numbers we're seeing, are linking up and syncing up with astrology. Because there is, I believe, it's my time for the eclipse, the new moon and the eclipse. It's 22:13. Well, when you look at that in regular time, it's 11:13. I've been seeing 11:13 so much. We're talking, at least all of this year. The fact that this big moment, this eclipse and this new moon at the end of this decade, and everything that goes along with it. So I don't know if the rest of you have been seeing 11:13 a lot or not, or 13 even, because of the timing of this eclipse and new moon. Actually, it's the eclipse is the 13. The minutes are at 13. So what we need to understand is that the energies around this timeline are in Capricorn. We need to understand what the energy in Capricorn represents if we're going to align accordingly to it. Now, the things that you want to work on in this time frame are setting boundaries, limitations, and being disciplined. This is basically what Capricorn is all about. Capricorn is big on these things, and the energy is going to be about structure and practicality. Again, Capricorn is an earth sign, so it's about being grounded, right? It's being grounded. It's about things in the physical. Now, being about structure, the structure is always placed on a foundation when you look at it that way. So that tells me the foundation has been laid, it's been built, it's in place. So now it's about the structure. It's about moving into the main part of our journey here, rather than, because the foundation it's like the basement. Now we're actually in the living area of this. If you look at a house, the foundation is the basement. The structure is the living area. It's the living quarters. It's where you live your life. This is us really starting to live, moving forward in this newness that we're moving forward in. It's going to be a very resourceful time period, and it will bring with it the energy of devotion and persistence. So be persistent. Whatever it is you're working toward, be devoted to it, and be persistent. The resources are going to come to you as if dropped in your lap. You will have guidance out of left field, out of the blue. It's just going to show up. Now keep in mind that the Capricorn people generally play by the rules, but they win in the long run. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. Capricorn always wins, and they are willing to put in the time, the energy, and the effort, and they always win because of it. So stay persistent, stay devoted. The universe is going to gift you with the resources to do so, okay? And to move forward. Now, I'm not saying that this is definitely going to take all of you forever to get to where you want to be. It's just, don't give up is the message here. Don't give up. This might, we've already given so much of ourselves and so much time to this ascension, this growth, this expansion that we're all going through, from shifting from 3D to 5D and becoming more spiritual rather than egoic. So just keep going, be persistent, because you are doing good, you are doing well, you're doing great. It is happening, people, it is happening. With the energies of Pluto and Saturn lining up on the 12th of January, it could get, or already has been, a little dark and or intense. I know for me, it started to feel very funky. I mean, you have your good times and your bad times. We all know that. I know that too. I go through my really energetic, eager for life times, and then I'll have, a couple of hours or maybe even a half a day of downtime where I don't even know why I'm feeling this way, but I feel a little bit dark, but nothing major. But I have to tell you guys that for at least the month of December so far, possibly going back into November a little bit, I have been feeling dark and intense energies off and on. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I've been fighting. Not fighting. I know that if I fight it, it just keeps going. It intensifies it. But I've been trying to work myself around it and getting back to that really good feeling that I know is there somewhere. And that's what we all need to do. Like I said, I've been feeling it for December. Probably, if I could remember, go back into November, maybe even into October. Once we hit that go time, maybe that started the intensity and the darkness. Because these dark parts, they've been revealing themselves for months now. And unfortunately, we haven't reached even the climax of it yet, but we're about to, because the 12th of January, when Saturn and Pluto line up, that is the climax. So get ready for that. Okay, that could be a little iffy for us as far as intensity and darkness goes, but we've got this, right? We've been doing this for so long. We know how to deal with those energies now. We know, and we can move through them. This is all about nothing more than divine pushing through with that final purge. We need to know what we're holding on to, and we need to release it, because that's what this is all about. Letting go of all of the old ways of being, doing, thinking, and feeling. So anything you've got left inside you that you're hanging on to from the past, you have got to let go. That's what this is all about. It's the purge, the final purge. Let it go. I came to the realization the other day, I was in meditation and I was brought a mental picture. It was someone in a white cloak, long-sleeved white cloak. It looked like an angel's cloak. And the hands were cupped and reaching out to me like somebody was trying to give me something. The hands were shiny gold. And right after I saw that, the message that came through with that was, you will be prosperous. And then they showed me someone, it was no one in particular, but someone with their back to me. They were walking away from me. And then they started to play the song by Lionel Richie or the Commodores called Sail On. And when I did the research on that song to find out why he wrote it or what it was about his wife divorcing him way back when. And so for me, I am separated from my husband. We were married for almost 30 years. I walked away from that marriage about 6 years ago, but we've never divorced. We've remained friends. We still come together at family events, birthdays, sometimes Christmas, not this year, but I just, I wasn't sure that I was even going to ever get married again. So it was like, whenever it happens, it happens. There was no rush for it. And me, of all people, I try to teach the law of attraction. I should have got this because the message they were bringing me was, you will be prosperous if you walk away and divorce. Get that divorce. Because when you think about it, I'm attached to my past by still being married to him. Energetically, I am still anchored to my past, and I will not move forward and be prosperous or abundant until I completely let go of my past. So that was the message. I need to file for divorce, and I am doing it, but it never dawned on me. So this is what I'm talking about. Realize that everything energetically that you are attached to from the past is holding you back. It's time to let these things go. Now, on the bright side of all of this, you need to keep in mind that this is a new moon, and new moons represent new beginnings. And combined with this solar eclipse, which brings with it new beginnings. Solar eclipses are all about new beginnings as well. It's a grander scale. So when you look at it from that angle, we've got a solar eclipse that is a huge, huge boost to the new beginnings that we have coming into our lives. We've also got it on a new moon, and it's just going to be so much more powerful in pushing us forward into this brand new life that we've all been waiting for and working toward, right? It is a final push, and it's all about releasing all of those things that no longer serve us from our past. It can go back 20 years. It can go back to last week, whatever it is, because yesterday is the past. Don't hang on to anything from the past. We all need to shift forward here. It is going to help us shift into the greatness that we all know we're here for. If you're a light worker, you have felt for majority of your life that you were meant for greatness. I still don't know what it is, but I know that from the messages that I get around all of this moving into the next decade, it's all about moving and shifting into your greatness, your true authentic self, and you are going to achieve so many great things when you do that, when you shift. And if you haven't been serious up to this point now, you're going to want to get serious about purging everything, because this is the final purge. And it's going to allow us to move forward. It's actually going to catapult us forward. Okay? So whatever it is that you want to manifest into your life, it's going to have the power and the momentum of not just the new moon, but the sun, both the sun and the moon behind it, because it's an eclipse, right? So it's utilizing the energy of the sun as well as the moon, not just the moon. This is huge, everyone, huge. And again, I can't stress enough, it's the end of a decade. Right? It's the end of the tens. What are tens? Completions, so that we can have new beginnings. There is so many messages around the new beginnings with this. It's blowing my mind. So know that whatever you want to manifest, really pay close attention to your intuitive nudges, because you are being guided through this. And you're being helped to move forward through all of these energies, because like I said, they are going to be intense. They will be dark to some degree, because it's all about bringing everything to the surface that no longer serves you from the past, so that you can let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You're not alone. Never, never, never feel like you're alone, especially through this. You are being guided. You will have your angels around you. You will be getting intuitive nudges. All you have to do is pay attention to them, be open to hearing them and receiving them, and then move in the direction you're guided to move in. The other exciting thing is we have 6 planets in Earth signs at this point in time. That's going to make it so much easier to ground down all of your hopes and dreams, your manifestations, everything into the physical reality. You've got 6 planets in Earth signs. That in and of itself, can you imagine the grounded energy around that? And then this new moon and eclipse in Capricorn. Capricorn's an Earth sign. It's all about grounding and manifesting everything into reality, because Earth signs are the pentacles in the tarot card, and the pentacles and just Earth signs in general. It's all about the practicality. It's all about the physical, the reality, things you can touch. So any work that you've been doing up to this point, and any that you do moving forward into this energy, is going to be definitely supported in a big way energetically. There will be so many things coming to fruition, everyone. You're going to finally receive that love, the money, the joy, everything. Wish fulfillment in a big way. It's here. It's finally here. I feel the energy around this. It's affecting my dog. My dog is struggling yesterday and today. She's off balance. She's dizzy. There's nothing wrong with her. She's just, that is one of the symptoms of this, by the way. If you've been experiencing lightheadedness or dizziness, that is a symptom of what we're going through at this point in time. Still, it's good to get things checked out. Please don't use that as a reason to not have to go to the doctor. You still want to get checked out, okay? But this eclipse sits in also the South Node. Now, the South Node is all about healing from the past. So, again, it's about purging and letting go of everything from the past, so that you can heal in order to move into the newness that's coming your way. Now, there's going to be an awakening because Uranus is in Taurus. So these awakenings, like I said earlier, it's not going to be like the wake-up call that we get from the Tower moment, right? It's not going to be that usual shake-up, because of all the other planets that are in the Earth sign. That is what's grounding everybody and the situation. So you won't get toppled over. You won't have your world turned upside down like what happens with the Tower card, okay? We are all going to be very protected because of the grounding that's available to us here. It's going to be basically an awakening without heartache or heartbreak. So it's not going to be that usual terror time. You could also be experiencing feelings of restlessness besides the dizziness or the lightheadedness during this time. And particularly when it comes to romantic relationships. If you are in a relationship right now, a romantic relationship, you could start to feel very restless, or your partner, or both of you. It could be around a potential romantic relationship. There could be feelings of restlessness around that if you're not in a relationship, but there is somebody that is a potential partner, okay? So get this. This is amazing to me because in January, we will be experiencing another eclipse, another one. But this time, it's going to be in the North Node. And what the North Node represents is the collective future and the potential of that future. It also falls on the 10th of January. And again, what are 10s? Endings, so we can have new beginnings. So going through the eclipse that's coming up this week, and it's in the South Node, and it's pushing us to purge all the old that is no longer serving us from our past. We're releasing all of that so that we can start anew after the 10th of January, right? Because that will be a full moon, and full moons are all about endings. So that will be an ending. The other message that I'm getting with this here is that we started all this on 10/10. So October 10th, but the 10th of October, and there's a full moon eclipse on January 10th. So we're going from the 10th of October to the 10th of January. Could it be that that's 10/10? Go time? There's a lot of 10s. A lot of 10s. That's all about completions. Ending one cycle and beginning a brand new cycle. So don't be surprised if after the 10th of January, things just start to move really fast and start to look really good. I mean, it could happen in December. It could happen the day of this full moon or new moon eclipse, because that's about beginnings, right? New moons are all about beginnings. So this one is going to be all about letting go. It is, we are trying to end things from the past, but it's so that we can move into our new beginning. And then when we reach the full moon on the 10th of January, it's about ending another cycle. Because we're being asked in this new moon to purge the old, so that we can come to the end of that, the end of hanging on to something that's no longer serving us, right? And then on the 10th of January, that is about endings. We need to be done. Okay, I'm going to suggest that we all try to be done tying up all those loose ends around our past by the 10th of January, because it's done. That's an ending. And then you can step into the newness, the new cycle that's coming your way. I am so excited about this time period. I keep hearing messages about the Christmas miracle, and I don't know if that's for the collective, if it's for me. So I don't know. But like I said earlier too, this whole month of December off and on has felt extremely magical to me. And I also have a knowing that December is going to be the best December I've had in a long time, if not ever. And it's also going to be the best winter I've ever experienced. Why? I have no idea. I do know that things are coming my way because I can feel them, I can sense them, and I've been given messages. So like I said, buckle up. This is going to be an exciting time, everybody. It could get a little dark and intense, but don't forget, that's just all a part of this. It's an illusion. It's about pushing out the old so we can make way for the new. And once we do that, it's going to get light and bright and happy. You are going to have so many beautiful things falling in your laps once we reach that place. I am really excited. I hope you all are too. Okay, so now what I want to do is get a card from the Moonology deck. I love to draw cards from this deck at new moon times and full moon times because the messages that come through are just incredibly spot on. So let's see what Spirit wants to tell us around this new moon. Whoa, that came out kind of funky. You are good enough. You know, I'm going to get another card. I have to say that there's a lot of messages coming through for me I just did the Virgo reading for this time period for me. It's going to come out the end of December. But I just did that reading, and the one thing that Virgos need to let go of is the feeling that they're not good enough. It's about self-worth. That is the one thing that Virgos do need to tweak moving into this new decade. And here comes the card again. So again, confirmation, but let's get another card. Maybe we'll get 2 more cards. Please, angels, and thank you. Okay, Spirit has decided that we will get 3 more cards, which I'm okay with. Okay, so the first one, you guys see that? It's dark because it's an eclipse, for God's sake. Can you believe that? It's time to take action. Yes, it is. This eclipse, it's about new beginnings. It is time to start things. If you have something that you've wanted to start, now is the time to do it. It will be successful. You have the energies of the sun and the moon. That momentum is going to be huge. This is the time to start. You will be pushed forward, catapulted forward into success, for sure. It's time to release negativity. Yes, it is. And again, this is a full moon. So, but we're not looking at the fact that it's full moon in Scorpio or new moon in Aries or whatever, but the messages are very clear here. And the final card is meditate and contemplate. Oh, absolutely meditate. That way messages can come through that need to come through. It settles you down. It takes you back to center. With these dark, intense energies that are about to come through or that have been coming through for the last while for all of us, one way to move through them and past them and move on from them is to meditate. I can't stress that enough. You only have to do 10 or 15 minutes a day, everyone. And once you get in the habit of meditating, you're going to love the feeling that you get while you're in meditation. Wow. I was just guided to look at the bottom of the deck. Check this out. I'm trying to get it so that you can see it in the light. A fiery climax approaches. Or Saturn and Pluto lining up with each other. The energies around that. It's the 12th of January. It's a climax. Fiery climax. Wow. Interesting. Passions. That could have something to do with, we've got 2 Aries cards here. So we've got Aries, Virgo, Scorpio, and Pisces. Not that that means anything, everyone, just pointing it out. I have a feeling that this is all about our passions, whether it be around business, career, or love. there's going to be a climax. And it's not a climax where you climax and then it goes downhill. I feel like it's a climax. It's like we've been climbing that mountain for how long? It's been a long haul. And we're going to climb that mountain and then we're going to move across the top of it because it's a big one. And that's where we're going to find love, finance, and joy. Wow. I hope this helped you all because it certainly excited me. I am eagerly awaiting all of this up to the 12th of January. I'm so looking forward to what's coming our way. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. I love you guys. Have a great holiday season. If I don't see you before Christmas and New Year, have a great holiday season. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.